So we can kick things off with a very short introduction, and then we'll just jump into some questions. And the topic is working in Web3.
Come on, Lenka.
I start?
Yeah, you're
okay.
up.
Hello, I'm Lenka. I've been occupying the stages twice already. I have talked about being part of a DAO with our Ryan here. I'm happy he's joining us. And yeah, I have another friend here, my Maria, that I used to work at the foundation with in the Marcoms. I've been talking mostly about how people can get a job in this space, even shape it. So that was super exciting. And also talking about the DAO exciting aspects. But working in Web3 or crypto or whatever you call it, that's also like the larger domain. So happy to share with you here.
Yeah, I'm Maria, and as Lenka said, we were together at Maker Foundation. Now I work for different projects, and so what I will speak about will be about working in how Web3 allows you to work in different projects at the same time without getting crazy. I am a bit crazy, but still manageable. So that's me. I work for Oasis.app now, which is the front end of the Maker protocol. I saw some beanies there. Chris, and for Balancer too. So that's. And also, I'm now organizing an event in Spaghetti in Milan. So join, guys, if you are around after DevCon.
I'm intrigued by your suggestion that you have a method by which insanity can be forestalled. I want to believe you.
Yeah.
I'm like delirious up here. I'm Ryan coordinator. I'm with DeveloperDAO. I help coordinate as we train Web3 builders and build public goods. I'm a full-time DAO worker. How many people here are working full-time for a DAO?
Nobody.
One.
I see
Also
one and a half.
Lenka.
Single digits.
I did terrible introduction to myself, sorry. Also a DAO contributor. Go ahead.
How many people are working full-time in Web3?
Hey.
Okay, that's most of the room.
How many have worked for one DAO or more?
Almost, yeah.
Wow.
I'm loyal.
Well, that's like half.
Yeah.
How many feel their sanity slipping away day by day and are here trying to... This talk's for you.
Well, hopefully we can convince some of these people to start working more or make the jump to full time. And the first question I have for you is, what do you see as the biggest benefit of working in Web3 and DAOs? Let's actually focus.
Go.
It's got to be the authenticity. I can actually be myself at work. I get to bring my whole self to work. There's no like wacky corporate norm about how I'm not allowed to discuss memes or something.
I think the best thing is that things are fast. So I get bored very, very easily, and I've never get bored in this space, never. So you can change project, but also within the same project, things are like changing and evolving very fast. You have an idea, after 2 days, this idea could be implemented. While before, when I worked for the corporate, like you had an idea, and after 2 years, you were making the slides, the presentation on PowerPoint about the idea, and then you die before the idea gets implemented. So that's the fast.
I have one question about the speed, though. Is the pace like good, or sometimes is it too much? Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's too much sometimes, but you have to you can deal with it. You organize your own time. You know, it's you need to a bit understand that you are a a part of the puzzle, but there's a world outside you. So you don't you don't need to go at the same path of everyone else, every project. You just take your time and you do your job in a good way, because burnout is something that harms you and the project. So not just you, but the environment around. So it doesn't make sense.
So some really cool points already made. Being yourself, actually not having to hide anything, being aligned with what you work with, fitting in that project or initiative or DAO, whatever it is. That's really awesome and empowering, seeing the value of your contribution actually reflect, not just being stuck at the slides and maybe a cake after 2 years. Friends, as we always mention it, you are actually part of a very global community. You get to travel, you get to meet many different interesting people online, but also in real life. It's amazing.
And also another thing is that you are never the smartest people in the room, never. Yeah. Like, you have always somebody who can teach you something. So this is another very good it's something that makes you always learn and be in touch with your inner sense of striveness. I don't know. So it's that's yeah.
Web3 is definitely a brain magnet and a talent attraction point, and people are fleeing their traditional big tech jobs and other corporates because they want to explore this new paradigm. So you get a lot of super excited people with amazing experience behind them, throwing themselves into something very novel, innovative, and looking for solutions. So all kinds of different domains blend and interact here. So you get to learn and explore and try out and get to know the people. So there are many advantages. Sorry, there's not just one.
I want to comment on the speed thing. So in many traditional environments, there are frameworks that make just getting anything done impossible. And in the DAO world, where all of those things have been eliminated or never constructed, things are really each of our individual responsibility. And so, I will complain that I overwork myself, but no one's telling me to do that.
Yeah, exactly. You manage your own, there's a chain, and every ring has the same importance, right? So you are a ring, you need to everybody understands if you are working or you are not working, because if you are not working enough, the chain will break. But in the same time, everyone else should work, so you don't have to overwhelm yourself or work too much. You understand what is your limit, and you don't have any boss. I have a boss is there, but but in general the environment also, if you don't work for a DAO but for a company, which I do, Web3 in general is an environment where you are free, and you just have to work and be efficient.
They just spell it wrong. Web3.
What?
Web3.
Free. Web3, yeah, Web3. This is a good marketing, yeah, Web3.
Should hashtag that. Well, obviously we've mentioned the speed, but what are some of the other problems or kind of risks involved with working in Web3 and with DAOs that you think people should maybe be aware of?
So I think we're talking about a spectrum of opportunities where I'm maybe talking about the most extreme, high-risk opportunity where I'm being paid in volatile tokens, and I report directly to voters. You represent a more balanced perspective where there's still a boss and a product.
Come on, I'm drinking.
Cheers.
It's important to take breaks.
So, Lenka. answer the question.
The biggest disadvantages or like the risks or...
Yeah, the not so big things, the not so good things about working in Web3. Like you've mentioned speed, burnout, but what are some of the other...
I think that the self-managing could be a disadvantage, because if you're not able, there are a lot of risks involved, like you don't work enough because you're free, so nobody is watching you. You don't work enough, after 5 days you're fired, basically, because everybody knows that you're not working. Second is that you can burn out because you work too much. So the equilibrium is not easy to reach, you know, I know. I don't know if you know, but probably you know. And it's not easy, and could be a disadvantage, because when we have frameworks and bureaucracy, you have like 8 hours, that's it. But we don't work 8 hours, no. I'm sure.
Only 16 most days. It's double-edged swords. Everything is a double-edged sword. You're juggling a bunch of double-edged swords.
But at the same time, you can take your own, like I can walk the dog when I want, you know. I can work from Sardinia. I can, you know, it's just being able to set some limits and boundaries, and then, but it's risky. This is risky.
And I guess, like, so one of the questions from the audience is, what kind of like job platforms would you, if you're kind of entering the space, where would you go? And I guess also, how do you go about starting to get involved in Web3 projects or in DAOs themselves? Because it could be quite intimidating on Discord. We've all seen it, right? There is so much going on in some of these channels. It's like, whoa.
So I feel like I've stole half an hour of everyone's time talking about how to get a job in crypto or Web3.
Watch the talk.
So
summarize.
I hope the slides will be available for people to explore and look at the different links. I've been adding them as people were giving me suggestions. So that's one way to actually create your own job, by making a footprint in the community you want to be part of and get rewarded. But there, of course, are different one-offs if you want to just try it. You can take bounties, you can take small grants to do some research, etc. You don't have to jump into it all the way to begin with.
I know that we are talking about web, but in my opinion, the best way is to join in-person stuff, like events. This is really like... We are talking about web, but we are all here. We are all happy that this event season has started again, and it's very, like, the only way to get in touch really with people, with their projects, with their passion, because this is all about passion. And you don't get the passion via a screen, probably.
Or Telegram.
Yes. So especially in my, like, maybe technical figures, yes, but me, Lenka, I mean, we are people person, so we can't do it via computer.
The passion is a lot easier to get in person too, and that's a big reason of why DeveloperDAO is focused on flying people out to events like this. But one of the things that I do at DeveloperDAO is every single weekday I have a call where the focus is on dreams and values in the world you want to live in. And so to anyone saying, like, how do I get in? I would say, like, ask yourself what you really want. Like, do you want a job? Anyone can give you a job. But, like, probably if you think about it, you want to do something that speaks to your core values. Like, for me, I really deeply care about education and democracy. And so that's what I'm working on, and the infrastructure to make that happen. And maybe you really care about feeding the hungry or medicine. If you like really sit with it and you figure out what impact you want to have on the world, then once you're comfortable with that, you can find an opportunity to apply that. So my Web3 working journey started, I really wanted to work with Proof of Humanity and UBI because I really deeply cared about digital democracy. And that project was not able to hire or pay me. But that didn't mean I gave up on my values. It just meant that I moved on to a different project, and I ended up at Gitcoin. So start with yourself, and then you find the opportunities that will fit you.
Yeah. I always used to say when people ask like about crypto and stuff, I was like, just take what you're passionate about, be that tennis or whatever, and type that, and then crypto or blockchain in Google, and you'll find something.
It's a good start.
Yeah. So as I want to focus on the audience here, I think I'm going to just ask some of the questions that have come through. So there was one which is, this ecosystem clearly has too much WASP testosterone in it. How would you advise a cultural balance in a Web3 worker community and a gender one too? Take that as you will. But I'm happy that this is a 50-50 balance in terms of gender on this panel. So
we are talking about gender gap.
Yeah, the gender gap and I guess cultural gaps that exist within the Web3 community, because I get, like, ultimately this is global, right? So
I hate and love this topic, if I must, because I mean, in my opinion, the gender gap is here just because this space is very, it seems very, very hard to understand, very technical, very complicated, and females are scared about it. That's it. And the only thing, but I've never, ever been mistreated anyhow in this space. I have always been treated really well by everyone. So even when I started and I didn't know anything, I was asking everything. Nobody made me feel stupid or, you know, unprepared or whatever. And this is something that happened in this space more than in my previous job. So this is not a problem of the space. I think we need, as females, we need to share more of our positive experience, because we have positive experience. So we need to like share, telling our girlfriends, hey, this is not that complicated. Because when I talk to my non-crypto girlfriends, they are like, oh, I don't understand. Oh no, stop talking about it. I don't understand. So I mean, you need to let them know that this is not too complicated for anyone, you know.
yeah. Well, there's one question here that says, I'm a female and I'm put off by the crypto bro culture.
I just wanted to add that I met Maria at Slash in Helsinki in 2018. She was like first day on job at Aave.
I was there.
And I was like, okay, you work in crypto. We don't have enough ladies. Come here, ask me questions.
Yeah,
I will tell you everything.
Yeah.
So we get more ladies in, and it's not in the sense that, hey, we need more women. It's just like,
no, exactly.
Make it welcoming, share the knowledge.
It doesn't make
friendly.
sense that
like,
there is
please.
this gap.
Like, Maria was like, we got her to make her.
Whoever asked that question, find them afterwards. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, and just to add to this, I'm also like part of this project called CryptoWomen. We started in Copenhagen, just like three girls. But, you know, it never was about that this is just ladies only or ladies in a display or something. Like, it was just to create this platform where people would feel like, okay, comfortable to ask questions that might be considered stupid otherwise.
Yeah.
We welcomed all genders, and we really just like didn't care what's your background. And I think like the ladies in the space, it should be their achievement, not their gender, that speak for them. So please don't put us on a panel just to meet the quota. Talk to us because we have something to share.
Yeah, also the female-based panel, what does it mean? Like,
Thank you. I'm not allowed to say it.
Yeah, what does the females in the crypto? What is this about?
This is for everyone. If we should build it well, we might as well like combine ourselves. We should not be just one uniform cookie cutter person building this. Like we need different opinions. We need different people, different backgrounds.
Yeah, we don't care. I mean, you can come. This space is very open, you know. When I joined, I used to work in for example, in a space where every conference was a suit, heels, you know. So I came like I usually dressed for events, and I was there with my like heels, etc. And everybody was in pajama. So I was there, but nobody cared. Like I was in my heels, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
Like. You can come in heels, pajamas, you can be male, female, we don't care, that's
just come with the right mindset, contribute, show your worth.
Just add value and that's it.
Yeah, well that's, you want to say one thing on this?
I would like to, may I?
Yes.
So it's about people, it's about accepting all people and making space for all people. You asked an institutional level question. Developer DAO's answer has been that we focus on bringing in underrepresented groups. And not historically underrepresented groups, but underrepresented groups today. And so, I mean, my focus is economically underrepresented groups. But any justification for an underrepresented groups, we've set aside hundreds of fellowships for people who can't otherwise get in. And we expect most of those in the early days to go to women. So while it is all about making space for people, today the categories that are underrepresented are geographic, demographic, and economic.
So someone in the audience is asking about, obviously there's developer and coding jobs. What about the other types of jobs that are also applicable in Web3? And where do you see the most value being outside of developers?
The other 80% of jobs?
Exactly. Guys, we need marketing people because otherwise, outside, nobody will understand anything of what we are doing here. So business people, marketing people, educators.
Project managers.
Yes. So people who can explain your grandma, no, maybe you're not your grandma, your father, what we are doing.
And someone else is also saying, which I don't disagree with, but we mentioned burning out earlier, but someone said that 80% of people in this ecosystem are burning out. That there is an overload.
That's capitalism. That's not crypto specifically. A large percentage of people in our society are burning out. And combating that is a real problem that crypto technologies can make a point of addressing, but it's like definitely a much larger problem than just us being in control of our own schedules and having really big ambitions.
But do you think there could be more done within this ecosystem to combat that? Or is it really up to, as you were saying earlier, about it's actually your own responsibility and you can tap out and say enough's enough?
Whenever members of my teams have come forward and said, I'm on the edge of burnout and I need to take some time off, I found that we've been extremely supportive. Many of the cultures that we come from have this, I don't have the exact words, but this fetishization of overwork and self-sacrifice for a sort of a corporate ideal. And we, our self-worth gets tied up in it, and it's quite difficult to untangle. And that we bring that with us. And so there's a lot of self-work that needs to be done on this and many other topics.
Yeah. A lot of discipline, a lot of focus on actual value contributed when you're effective, and when you're not forcing yourself just to sit those hours.
And also, giving yourself the time you need, it's better for everyone, like the project, and you bring more value when you.
Yeah, but I think it's up to people to first make that decision, and then also for the employer to be accepting of it. And if they're not, then.
And even internally within the team, you should have some sort of audits where you actually check back and and assess how was the quarter, how
Yes.
did you do, and how should you plan better for the next one. And I think it applies for many other projects, not just our core unit in the DAO. And we actually realized, like, yeah, this is a marathon, not sprint, and we have tried to achieve too many things in one quarter. So we also adjust for that.
Yeah,
so
you learn
sometimes we have to pace ourselves even forcefully so that it's a good tempo.
Is there a chance that you and your people ops group might be interested in teaching those techniques?
So
Yeah.
I got the socks, and now I'm inviting Ryan to the Telegram chat. And tomorrow at GGG Global Governance Summit, we have a workshop. I can't remember the time, but please come talk to us, and you're invited as well.
I'll be there.
Please, yeah, new member.
I sold out. Do you have the ticket?
Yes.
I have some connections.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'm participating in the DAO Star 1 workshop.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, there are also some other questions. There's one in particular about immigration. So please, I think you're probably best speaking to Ryan, so do find him afterwards. Maybe that's the best I got. But thank you so much, the three of you, for this panel.
Thank you.
And thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you.